Okay, so we have all heard that designing and building a custom home can be super stressful. In this video, we're going to show you what to expect and how to prevent a lot of these stressful situations so that your custom home process can be fun and enjoyable. Because let's face it, it should be. Welcome to Dream Homes with Kathy. I'm Kathy Yuen, architectural technologist, custom home designer, and founder of Phase 1 Design. Our team and I have designed over 600 custom homes, and this YouTube channel is dedicated to sharing our knowledge with you. So I'm super excited. We have Byron Brooks joining us today as a special guest on the show. Byron is one of my favorite custom home builders. He has been in the carpentry and custom home world for over 20 years and is now proud to be part of the Allaire Homes network. He's also the founder of the nonprofit organization Builders and Brew, which is an amazing organization. We're going to put some links down below. Such an awesome cause and so innovative. Welcome, Byron.
Thanks, Kathy. I'm happy to be here and to share a few of the things I've learned over the years about managing the emotions throughout a project.
There is a very predictable emotional roller coaster for the home and design building process. I love this infographic because it shows you what to realistically expect. Byron?
Yeah, this is something I discovered a few years ago. It was originally created by a guy named David Lupberger, and he uses this as a tool he developed over his years in construction to help clients recognize and manage where they are emotionally throughout a project. Like building a custom home is a huge undertaking. It's the most money you're going to spend on any one thing in your life, probably, and you need to be aware of the emotions that occur throughout that process and how you can develop tools to manage them. So what I hoped we could do today was walk through that emotional roller coaster, show you where some of the lows are and the highs are, and how we can work together as a design build client team to keep those lows as shallow as possible and as short as possible and help get to the end where all the fun is.
Awesome, love it, let's do this. So at the beginning of the design phase, I'm so lucky I get to see this, by the way, homeowners like yourselves are really excited. You know, you're looking at photos to show your designer, you're dreaming of what can be in your house, you're working with your design team, you're sketching, you're brainstorming.
That moment when clients see the renderings of their house for the first time, it's a good spot.
Oh my gosh, right? It's so exciting. I'm so lucky to be part of this. You're literally seeing the design evolve from like nothing, like a blank piece of paper, to something that's real. Yeah. So that's all really exciting. And then, dun, 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 comes the very first emotional valley. So this usually will happen after the design and drawings are finished. It feels like the entire process just completely slows down because you as a homeowner, you're anxiously now waiting for the builder to price the house. It can feel like nothing is happening, which, you know, really in the background, someone like you, Byron, is like totally like pricing and there's tons of hard work going on in the background. Yeah, exactly, right? With trade, suppliers, and pricing the project. But as a homeowner, it still feels like everything is moving slow. And then comes a time when you present the pricing to the homeowner. And this is where reality really starts to set in, right, Byron? Like, I mean, you've been in so many of these meetings. This is a point where you as a homeowner need to make important financial decisions, which obviously can cause stress. This is also usually the time where you sign off on the builder contract and there's legalities to be reviewed. It's almost like a little bit overwhelming, or it can be. Things are getting negotiated, and this of course can add to the stress. Okay, so don't worry, we're not gonna leave you hanging at this point. We're gonna come back later in this video and talk about this stage and how to minimize or prevent stress.
Yeah, Kathy, I joke that I play the role of dream killer in that first low.
Oh my God, dream killer.
On Dream Homes with Kathy, no less. I come in and here's the budget. Oh, it's more than we thought. And for the homeowner, it's a stressful time where you don't know who to trust. You don't know where the right answers are.
Absolutely.
So by working with the design team, that's a bit of a spoiler from what we're going to talk about later, but by working with the right design and build team, we can climb you out of that into a place where we've got the contract signed, we're building, we're doing the framing, we're putting the roof on, we're putting the windows in. That's all so exciting because a lot happens in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
But we need to be aware that there's another low coming, and that low comes when all the rough-in starts to happen. Like, it looks like the house is finished, but now you have to wait for months while the electrical and the plumbing and all the systems go into the house.
Yeah,
and then
all the stuff behind the walls, right?
Yeah.
You don't see it, it's not exciting, but you need it, obviously.
Yeah, we have to build
Yeah.
it. And those are those moments where you come in and you're like, oh, this is the size my room's going to be. You start to see some of those things in physical form. But that also coincides with when you're getting hit with change orders. You have all these questions you need to answer throughout the process. Maybe your budget is starting to get stretched a little thin. That happens in that next low, and we need to engage some strategies to climb our way out of that, to get to the fun part. Let's get to that.
Yes,
let's
fun. We love fun.
Yeah, let's get to that,
Yeah.
like move that bus moment to
Yes.
steal from an old program.
Yeah.
Let's get to that place by climbing out of there and making this process engaging and fun for everybody involved.
All right, so in this second part of this video, we're gonna talk about how to deal with when your emotional roller coaster goes down to the low points or the stressful points. How do we keep the low point valleys as short and shallow as we can? Our goal as a designer and builder is always to keep you at the top of the roller coaster for as long as possible with a really smooth ride and make the design and build process as fun and enjoyable as possible. Let's take a closer look. So how do we avoid spending too much time in this first emotional valley, which is after design and before construction starts? So first, what is the root cause of this emotional valley? Well, sticker shock and stress unfortunately happens when realistic expectations are not set at the very beginning of the project. There are 3 different ways to prevent this. Number 1, be informed budget-wise. So you should talk about budget way before you start design. If the budget isn't realistic, you shouldn't even start the project. So make sure your budget is realistic, make sure you're comfortable with it, and I always recommend inviting a builder as well into the initial design conversations and even some of these initial design meetings. Make sure that you're sharing real budget information with the design build team up front so we can help guide you. Now, if you need help with this is a much larger topic than we're gonna cover in this video. So we actually have another video called How to Establish Your Initial Budget Range. We're gonna link it down below. But let's just answer this question very quickly here. Byron has this amazing way. I love how he talks about this. So Byron, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, so existing in that emotional space can be a blessing and a curse, but one thing that a designer taught me along the way is to ask the question, what number scares you? What number, if we went past this, would affect your lifestyle? Those questions reframe it as an emotional decision on the homeowner's side, and that can help us from the design build team to get to what that true budget number is.
Number 2, be informed schedule-wise. So also, we want to talk about having a realistic schedule for the project, not just a realistic budget. One really great piece of advice that we can give you is instead of just having a schedule for your construction, which everybody knows about, also have a realistic schedule for the pre-construction planning process, which would include your design, your permits, and always, of course, include a contingency. Number 3, build a trusted designer and builder team. So let's start with design. Make sure you're working with a design team that knows how to work with budgets. So how do you know that your designer actually knows how to do this? Okay, a few tips. First and foremost, a designer should always ask you what your budget is in the very early stages of the project. I always say they should be asking you literally in the first conversation you have with them, and even more importantly, before you actually execute a design contract with them. They should also be able to lead you through budget conversations as you're actually going through design. This is not a question that you should be asking. They should be leading you through this process. When it comes to the build team, Byron can share some great tips about how to find the perfect builder.
So when it comes to adding a builder to that trusted design build team, the things you want to be doing are some of the obvious things. You want to check references. A referral from your friends is still one of the best ways you can go about this. We'll add below a list of things you should be asking your contractor to ensure they're credible and operating legally. You need to educate yourself. You should ask questions about the process. A good builder and a good designer will be happy to walk you through that. We recognize that that's a big part of our job, is educating clients on how this process goes. So keep asking questions and check to see how you're being responded to throughout that process. And one of the most important things is pick a team you enjoy working with. It's that test of, could I have an enjoyable taxi ride with this person? Would I sit there and have a conversation and share some laughs? And when things are low, we're going to go through it together. We're going to climb out of it together. That's incredibly important and often overlooked in the construction space.
All right, so now we are in construction, which is super exciting to see everything rolling into construction, seeing things come together. But then, like we talked about before, boom, here comes the second valley of the emotional roller coaster. So Byron, maybe walk us through, how do we actually minimize the stress or maybe even prevent it altogether in the second valley?
Yeah, the short answer is that all that second valley can be prevented or minimized with effective project planning.
Planning, love it. That totally makes a lot of sense. So planning is a very broad topic though, so can you maybe deep dive a little bit more into that and give us some examples?
Absolutely. The things I would think about there, and what I would encourage homeowners to do, is spend more time with your design team. Get 3D models, make your selections, really put some of those choices up front and lock them in. That really helps us execute more effectively and efficiently when we're in construction. There's also a component where clients need to recognize that this is a big job for them. This isn't like a part-time job throughout the build. Even though they've hired professionals, there are choices they're going to need to make throughout that. So allowing time in your schedule throughout the build to be a part of that build team really helps the project move forward. So those are some things you can do on the homeowner side. What you should expect from your builder is proactive and consistent communication. Sometimes avoiding those valleys is just a matter of knowing what's coming next. If your contractor is communicating and saying, hey, we're having this problem, but here's how we're going to solve it, and here's what you can expect in the next few weeks, that's a real win for the project and for your emotional state throughout. And that boils down to, an informed client is a happy client. If you're getting that consistent communication, you're going to be happier with the process and feel more comfortable with your position in it.
Awesome. Such great tips, Byron. Thank you so much. All right, well, this was all really awesome. I know Byron has one final tip to leave to everybody as a conclusion.
I know that was a lot of information, but the main takeaway from this should be, use this as a tool. Use this to recognize where you're at in the process. I've done that on my projects in the past. When we're at a low, which happens, I'll pull it out and I'll show it to clients and say, here's where we are. And often it'll create a moment for laughter and to re-engage with each other on how we can climb out of this valley and get to a successful conclusion.
All right, thank you so much, Byron. Okay, everyone, so there you have it, the emotional roller coaster. We have actually provided a link to this particular document down below. Feel free to download it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a like down below and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about your new custom home design or build, please feel free to reach out to either Byron or myself. We will link our contact information down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kathy Yuen with Faisal Design.
And I'm Byron Brooks with Builders and Brews.
See you in the next video. If you want more content on designing and building custom homes, hit that subscribe button below so you get access to all videos like this on our channel.